All right. Like she said, my name's Jordan, and it's easy to remember. His name's Jordan also.
Jordan.
Yep, we're both Jordan.
Yeah.
So, we're here today for Fire Prevention Week. Were you guys here last year for Fire Prevention Week? Yeah. So we do it about every year. We come out and talk to everyone about fire safety. We brought our fire truck here to look at. Once we're done, we'll go through the fire truck and show you everything on it. And if time permits, we'll put the ladder up, maybe up to your building. All right? All right. All right, so the first thing, what's the phone number that you call?
911.
All right, very good, 911. So when do you call 911?
If there's a fire, emergency.
Okay, if there's a fire, anything else?
If there's somebody broke in your house.
If somebody broke in your house, if you need the police, yep. What else? If somebody gets hurt, if you need an ambulance, yep. So that's what I do. I do the ambulance and the fire truck. And then my other Jordan here, he does fire. And actually, when you call 911, you get to talk to him. He works at 911. So when you call, you get to talk to him or one of his friends. So when you do call 911, what do you need to tell them?
You need to tell them your number, your street, and you need to tell them what happened.
Very good. Very good. So what your name is, that's pretty easy, isn't it? Everybody knows their name. The other big one is where you are. Are you at home? Are you at school? Does everybody know their home address? No?
I do. I know where to skip if there's a fire.
Okay. So it's good to learn your home address. So maybe when you get home this evening, you can talk to mom and dad, and maybe they can teach you what your home address is. So if you do have to call 911, you can have that home address to give them. So you can tell Jordan, and then he can send them to the right place. Okay? So anytime you need help is when you call 911. Now that doesn't mean you should call them and ask them with your math homework. Because I don't know how good at math you are.
Not too good.
He's not very good at math. So he might be able to do kindergarten math. All right, it's a little joke. All right, so we know 911. We know what to tell them. Okay? So let's say that your house catches on fire and there's a bunch of smoke. Does everybody have smoke detectors? Have smoke? Yeah, you should have smoke detectors at your house. You do? Good. Good. So smoke detector is that nice little thing you hang on your wall, nice and high, because you know smoke and heat rises. And then it puts off that really, really loud beeping that lets you know there's something wrong. Does everybody change their smoke detector batteries regularly? Nope. All right. He's honest. Nope.
My dad does.
Okay. So usually,
Our fridge actually does it.
whenever you change the time, the daylight savings time in the spring and in the fall is a good time to change your smoke detector batteries. Because just like your toys, if they don't have batteries, they don't work. So you got to have smoke detector batteries for them to work properly. So everybody remembers that. So maybe when you go home tonight, maybe ask mom and dad, did you check the smoke detector batteries? And if not, they can go over to Walmart and get some batteries. Everybody loves Walmart. All right. All right. On a show of hand, who lives on the first floor of a house, on the ground floor? Nobody lives on the ground floor? A few of you. And how many live in the upstairs? Okay, so a lot of you live upstairs, right? All right. Okay. So, if there is a fire in your house, does everybody know how to get out of your house?
You break the window, you go out the door that's close to you, or slide down the roof.
Okay.
Open your window and wait for someone to touch you down. Open your window and wait for someone to touch you, and then slide down the
All right.
If I touch
So-
you, I take down the swing into my window.
All right. So if you're on the first floor or on the second floor, if you can safely crawl or walk out of your house, of course that's gonna be the best way. Just go right to the front door, the back door, and walk right out. So that's gonna be the easiest way, right?
I have a window in my door and I can climb
Yep.
out.
So if you can't get out your door, then yeah, you'll probably have to go out a window. So how do you know if you can go out your door or not?
I know how you walk out of it.
Anybody?
I can press
How do you know if you can go out your door or not?
You feel the door if it's hot.
Yep, you feel the door and see if it's hot. So if you sleep with your door closed, put your hand up against the door, and if it's hot, what's that mean?
There's a
Yeah.
fire.
There's a fire on the other side. And if you open that door, that fire is going to come in your room. You don't want that. So you keep that door closed, and then you can take a blanket off your bed or something, and you can push it up along that bottom of the door to keep the smoke out. And then, like she was saying, you're going to have to go over to the window, and if you're on the ground floor, you can put your window up and go out the window.
I am not behind my window.
Okay? If you're upstairs, same thing. But on the first floor, you can open the window and just crawl right out to the ground. What if you're on the second floor? What are you going to do?
You have to jump and make sure somebody's there to catch you on the right.
Okay? Well, I mean, unless there's someone there to catch you, I don't suggest jumping out the window. So what you'll do is you'll wait there, and then when we come in, you're going to yell and scream as loud as you can so it gets our attention. Or if you have a colorful blanket, you can wave it out the window, get our attention, and then we'll either put one of our ground ladders over on the other side of the truck, we'll put them up to your window to get you, or if this truck is there, we'll put the big ladder up and come get you. All right? So that's how to get out of your house. Now, don't break your windows. Don't go home and break your windows or anything like that. That's only in an emergency, all right? That's my disclaimer. Only in an emergency. All right? All right. Okay. So while you're waiting on us to, if you're stuck in your house and you can't get out and you're waiting for us to get there, you need to be as low as you can until you hear us come. Then you can hop up and look out the window. But you need to be as low as you can because, like I said, heat and smoke rises. And then also, you can't hide from fire. You can't hide from fire or smoke. It's really, really good at hide and seek. So, you know who's not really good at hide and seek? Us. If you hide from us, it's going to be really hard for us to find you, especially when there's a lot of smoke and it's really dark. So don't hide in the closets or under the bed or anywhere else that's going to be hard for us to find you. Because when we come in, we're going to be wearing a lot of clothes, which he's going to put on here in just a second, and we're also going to be wearing this nice mask that kind of muffles our voice. So we kind of sound weird. So we sound scary, but I promise we're there to help you. So don't try to hide from us. We need to find you, and then we'll carry you out, okay? All right. So we're gonna have Mr. Jordan put on some of his gear and show you what he's gonna look like. So right now, he's just a regular guy, right? Yep. He's a dad, just like your dad's. He's got a kid about around your age, and another one on the way. So he's just a regular guy. So first of all, he puts on his pants, pulls them up. Why do you think he wears suspenders? Well, the suspenders, so his pants don't fall down. That'd be funny if his pants fell down in the fire. All right, so he's got his pants, protects his legs. He's got these big pads, because when you're crawling, it kind of hurts your knees. And a lot of times when we're crawling through a burning house, there may be burning pieces of wood, glass, broken metal, all kinds of stuff that can cut his legs. So he's got these pads to protect his knees. And then he puts on this hood. This will protect his hair and his ears and part of his neck when he puts his coat on. All right. So now he's got his His coat on protects his arms, his chest, his back, and he's got these big flaps up here that protects his neck. So he gets a bunch of different layers to protect himself. He's got him a flashlight so he can see in the dark. And then he's got his helmet. So that protects stuff from coming down and hitting him in the head. That saved me a couple times where stuff will fall and hit me in the head and didn't hurt me. All right, and then we're also gonna have him put on his air pack. So we get to bring our own air into the fire because smoke, you can't breathe, right? So we bring our own air in these nice big bottles. So he puts those around there. He puts his seatbelt on there that holds it to his back, just like a backpack. Except his, we don't want it to flop around because we're gonna be moving around in the fire. And then he's got this mask. So after he puts his mask on, he's gonna sound really funny. And he's gonna look funny, funnier than he normally looks. All right, so he's got that on. That protects his eyes. And puts that up there. So now he's got a bunch of different layers around here, so then his face and his ears won't get burnt. Okay? Then he puts his helmet back on. All right. Go ahead and go on air. Let him listen to you. And he also has these gloves. He may or may not put those on, but that protects his hands from hot stuff, sharp stuff. All right.
You guys all hear me at all? Sound a little funny now, huh?
Yeah.
So yeah, he might sound like a monster, may look different, but he's still the same nice guy that we saw a few minutes ago with a bunch of extra protective clothing. So when he comes in the house, don't try to run away from him because he's gonna look weird. He's gonna have all this stuff hanging off of him. He's gonna have this light flashing around. He's got lights flashing up here. He's got lights flashing back here. He's gonna look weird, but he's just the same nice guy there to help you. Okay? Yeah, he sounds different, which it's a little better now that we have these amplifiers, but he's gonna sound a lot different. So the main thing is don't try to hide from him. Because you can't hide from fire, but you can hide from us. If we can't find you, we can't help you. Okay? What that is that you heard beeping, that's if something bad happened to the firefighter Jordan and he got hurt and he's laying on the ground. After, I think it's 15 seconds, this thing will start beeping, which will tell him, hey, move around if he's not hurt. But if he is, after 15 seconds, it'll start beeping. If he doesn't move, it'll beep louder and louder until eventually this thing will go nuts. And it's like a big game of Marco Polo.
Yeah.
So we know that he's hurt. I can crawl in there. I can hear his alarms going off, and I can come find him and help him. So, all right, you might watch your ears, but this is what it'll sound like. So it's pretty loud, isn't it? Especially if we're inside of a house. But that's good because that means that I can find him a lot easier. Because when this goes off, stuff here starts flashing, stuff on his back will start flashing, a bunch of lights. So I can hear him, and hopefully I can see him, and then I can grab him and take him out. One other thing on our gear, spin around. There's a few ways, if I did have to help Jordan, I can grab him right here and drag him. And also, I could drag him with a rope. I could put a rope around here, and I can actually put him out a window and lower him to the ground with this. And then the other one is the thing right up here that I can grab and pull it out, which I'm not going to because then we gotta put it back. And what it does is it makes a little sling around his arms to help us carry him out. He basically has a built-in rope to help him out. Okay? So have any questions? Had what?
He was telling you what street he lives
Oh, okay, good. All right. Then one thing I forgot to mention. This is one of the big things for Fire Prevention Week. What happens if you your clothes catch on fire?
You want stop, drop, and roll.
Stop, drop, and roll. Exactly. So let's go through that. Stop. The biggest thing is don't run around. Because if you run around, that gives the fire more air. And you know, fire has to have air to burn. So if you run around, it just gives it more air and the fire gets bigger. So you got to stop where you're at, drop to the ground, and then roll around. What that does is it basically smashes the fire and gets it to go out. So stop, don't run around, drop, and roll. Okay? All right. And then I know probably not a lot of you younger ones do a lot of cooking, but this week is talk about cooking safety. That's their theme for the year, but especially like older ones or parents. Talk about good cooking safety. So if you have a grease fire on your stove for the older ones, what do? You got burning grease on the stove.
Don't use water.
Okay, good. Don't use water.
Call 911.
Okay, yeah, you can call 911 and then we'll come and deal with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's right. You don't put water on it. And that's the same for you younger ones. If you see something on the stove that's on fire, don't put water on it. Because in that instance, the water can actually make it worse. And so for the older ones, the reason why is because that grease goes on top of the water. So it'll continue burning and that water goes under the grease. And all it does is it spreads it out. Especially when you throw it on, it slings it on the carpet, on the walls, on the cabinets, which then catches them on fire. So don't put water on it because it'll make it considerably worse. And a lot of people, they want to grab that pan and go running through the house to dump it outside. Well, if you got a steady hand, okay. But most people go running and they end up slopping it all over the floor. So now you have little droplets of fire from there all the way out the door, which then catch your carpet on fire, which then catches the rest of the house on fire. Okay. So your best thing, if you have a stove fire, especially with grease, if you can get a pan, or not a pan, but a lid to go on the pan, put it on there, and it smothers the oxygen away from it, and it'll go out. You can also use like flour or any kind of like powder that you put on it, and it will smother the fire. Or if it's not around anything, you can just kind of let it burn, and eventually it'll burn out. But your best bet is put a lid on it, or put some kind of flour or something powder to cover it, and then it separates the fuel from the oxygen. Okay. And then for the younger ones, you know not to mess with the stove, right? Don't light the stove. Don't put anything on the hot stove. Don't put rags on the hot stove that mom or dad just used to cook, because it could catch on fire. Yep. So, any questions?
No.
Nope. Anybody want to look at the fire truck?
Yeah.
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 All right. So this year we can't let you go through the fire truck because of all this corona stuff, but we'll let you walk around.